This is it. We're rolling. This is episode 379 of No Laugh Track Podcast. I'm Justin Severson, the host. Circle of Heat. I think we're still playing their music there at the beginning. Yeah, I think so. And here with me is someone who was here with me last time with a member of Circle of Heat. It's not Trevor Anderson here with me. It is Mike Earley here with me on a Wednesday afternoon at Acme.
That's right.
4th of July week.
That's true.
I'm here with the headliner. How does that sound, Mike? The headliner, Mike
good.
Earley.
It's great. It's great.
No. Expand on that. Give me half an hour on how great it is. I'm kidding.
I didn't ask for that, but I am headlining, in fact. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Mike. And last time you were here was last time you did this with me.
Right.
It was the co-headlining deal with Trevor Anderson last, I wrote it down, it was last October.
Okay, we did the co-headlining thing, and then...
Does that last October seems like, 20 years ago?
I don't know.
50 years ago?
I don't know. Yeah. So it's a distant life, full of ambitions and things you could do. But, I was doing that with him, and then right before the club closed, I headlined one night.
I know, yeah.
And this is...
You had a Tuesday night.
I had a Tuesday, and this is basically the first time performing since then.
Okay.
So 4 months off, and then it's back in it.
I watched did you watch the Dave Chappelle special from,
The 8:34? Yeah, I did.
Okay. Think about this once. That is it hasn't even been a month since he recorded that. It seems like forever ago that I watched it. It's not even a month ago.
Yeah, well, it was something that sharp, A lot of people's just impulse is probably just to try to, let's talk about something else. So they segment it in their mind. So,
sure. After getting to it right away, which I know I did. But the reason I even brought it up is one of the things he says right at the beginning of that is he hadn't been on stage for 87 days or something like that.
Yeah.
So before this, what was the longest you ever went since starting comedy?
Since performing?
Yeah.
Definitely, this is the longest. Prior to this, I guess I don't even remember.
I guess you'd have to think,
is there a time I've taken a break? I think there was...
Some situation that pulled you away?
Honestly, a couple years ago, I was getting real burnt out on comedy, and I think there was a couple weeks where felt a little... It almost felt like rebellious. It's like I was skipping school or something. Because after a while, it becomes... an inner duty or inner obligation to go do this kind of a discipline of getting out there a couple times a week. And then when you realize you don't have to do that, it's kind of fun. And then when you really can't do it, it's even better because you don't have the guilt attached to, if you are getting burnt out on, you don't have the guilt of, I should be out there. But then when everything's shut down, it's kind of nice for a little bit to have a break.
Right. What type of stuff did you have on the books when everything was canceled in March?
I had bar gigs in Wisconsin. I was going to be at the Mall of America. Just, normal routine stuff, nothing amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. It starts off with a little bit of relief.
Yeah.
So what have you... I know you've been doing the construction gig still, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, full time, basically, just to stay busy.
Did you have to call off today to come here to join me for this?
I took the week off.
Took the week off?
It's just the arrangement I have, I entered the job, and they knew I was a comedian, and they were cool with that, and they knew I couldn't work all the time, so I kind of work when I want to, but I also, again, I have a sense of obligation to that, because I've worked my whole life, and to let that go for a little bit, you start to feel, you learn enough about yourself taking time off to realize it's not good for you.
Yeah. Are there guys that you work with at that job that are, because like we've talked about, I got a job like that I do as well, painting, and sometimes if something pulls me from that job and we're not finished, like I have a sense of guilt, like, oh, I just kind of bailed on those guys, but I have these other, I have to be here for this.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that?
Oh, yeah, I definitely
balancing the comedy versus that, guys, I know we're putting up this part of the thing, but I'm gone, man. I know
Definitely,
it's the shittiest part that's coming up, but I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, you have Crane Day. That's a big deal.
Day, okay.
Crane Day, when people pay $200 an hour, and then they go, the crane's going to be here at 7:00. Be here at 6:15 so we can set it up, just because they don't want to wait. Yeah, Crane Day is an intense day.
Sure,
so
there's a lot of money involved in Crane Day.
Yeah, that's where my allegiance is strongest, on Crane Day. Outside of that, I feel like I do my duty.
I love that. I love that. Of course, the downside to a job like that is you can get injured. I saw you had a visit to the clinic or something the last month or so.
Yeah, I got a few stitches.
Is there a good story behind it?
No, it's
Fist fight on the job site?
Very lame. It was a metal strap that I literally just kind of twanked off. I don't know if that's a word. It is in the gay community, but I twanked it off, and it ripped open the webbing of my finger. And I was looking inside of it, and I'm like, yeah, I know what I probably need stitches. So
you had that moment where like, fuck.
Yeah.
Did anybody see it happen? Because that's always the thing. Like, maybe I could just play this off and wrap the crap out of it.
Nobody would care if I would have wrapped the crap out of it. I did this for my own well-being. So I don't work at a place where they are concerned with that. In fact, I think I was made fun of for getting stitches.
How many stitches?
3.
30?
Three, yeah. 3, and it's in the webbing, so you can open that up. But I got to the urgent care, and they dipped it in water. Then I looked at it, I'm like, I don't know if I have to be here, but
yeah, it's not a fun trip to take care of that crap.
Yeah, I feel like you're doing something though. I feel like I'm taking care of myself. I haven't eaten a vegetable in 3 months, but I'm gonna get 3 stitches.
Whose fault is that?
It starts right here. I'm not saying it's not my fault.
Oh, that's great. So you didn't do Zoom shows, or did you?
I didn't do a single Zoom show.
Really?
Yeah. No, this has been a weird time for me. I got a call at the beginning of quarantine from someone in Texas who told me she was pregnant, and it was my kid. So I had this.
What camera are we on here? What the? Seriously?
At the very beginning, right before the lockdown, I get a series of weird text messages saying that there's something wrong, and I'm like, oh, what's wrong? And it's someone I hadn't formed any sort of relationship with and periodically talked with. But yeah, so that occupied my mind for a good 2 months, 3 months. And I didn't actually get conclusive evidence. I was kind of taken for a ride.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So I don't have full closure now, but I can only psychoanalyze the situation and some of the loops and maze that occurred during all that to kind of come to some sort of conclusion. And if you do have a child, you'll find out when it comes. But I couldn't continue to deal with someone who was like just making stuff up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm having visions of that catfish show on MTV I used to watch occasionally.
Yeah, well, if you watch MTV, it's catfish and ridiculousness 24/7. They don't even play music anymore.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about that, like, this it could be the, I'm going to get Mike to come back down to Texas, and then...
Yeah. It seems
trap him
like
into
that.
Who knows what.
Yeah, it's just like that mindset is so foreign to me. But I've had friends who've had, they
accidental.
Of course, I've had friends who've done that. All my friends have done that. But
it's a requirement.
I've also had those same friends who've had people after, right before breaking up with them, and they say, I'm pregnant, and then they get taken for a ride for a couple weeks, and then they say they had a miscarriage or etc. just to kind of keep the grip. So it's something that happens. It's just like if you don't necessarily have conclusive proof, you don't know if it's happening to you. You can only just I guess. But like the mindset behind that is so foreign to me that it's just like it's hard to relate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what kind of dad are you gonna be?
National Guard dad, 1 weekend a month. Pay for college, maybe? I don't know.
If it's a boy, will you? No, I'm kidding. Wow. So it's no resolution yet.
Not really. So you have to learn to live with some ambiguity in your mind. People talk about pregnancy scares, which are generally 4 to 5 days, but when you have a month-long syndrome, it's something that should be called something different.
Yeah. I was when I worked Well, you and I were talking beforehand. Like, I have a now 10-month-old daughter
Mm-hmm.
at home with my wife.
Hey, you were really hyping it up before the show.
Hey, if anybody needs tips on stay-at-home dadding, I'm a pro now. I'll just say that. So I have a 10-month-old at home.
Yes.
With my wife that we created. It's a miracle. And back when she and I were dating, I was working. I was also still working morning radio, producing a morning radio show. Right?
Yeah.
During a broadcast of that radio show,
Oh.
she sends me a message.
No.
Yes.
It's a photo?
Have I told you this before? She sent a photo of a freaking.
No, I just think of the most maximum effect, and that would be a photo.
She sent a picture of a doctored pregnancy test.
A doctored? Just for fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
To see what my reaction was. I married this woman.
Well, have you asked her about what's behind that?
Oh, I mean, my reaction was so negative that I'm surprised we didn't break up with each other.
Yeah,
I'm amazed
yeah.
that our relationship got, because I was so first like, what the, no.
Yeah,
no. I was
yeah.
still going, like, I was separated from my first wife for, I mean, our marriage had been done for years, but we took a long time to make it legally
Sure, you're
official.
still tied up in some way.
We tried to blah, blah, blah. It took a
get
long
it,
time
yeah.
to finalize a divorce. Not because we were going to get back together. It's just kind of a financial thing. And
Okay.
But the point was, it was like, I was still dealing with that. And then
Yeah.
she's sending me a message like, oh, and I'm pregnant. I'm like, and we were just newly dating. I'm like, what the, no. We can't. What are we going to do? What do we, So we
can't
both
imagine,
had
man.
very negative. She was upset with how I reacted, and I was upset that she was fucking with me.
Oh, dude, yeah, you can't be upset at someone if their precepts are just lies.
No.
But I've heard that too, where it's like I told him I was some other girl, and he said come over. It's like, yeah, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're also lying.
I just remembered something to make my wife look a little better. I just remembered this. Previous to that, we had been walking through Como Park, here in the zoo, the Como Park here in St. Paul, or over in St. Paul, and we were going by this really picturesque area, and I started crouching down on one knee, pretending like I was going to propose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That you got her back?
No, I did that first.
Oh, okay.
So now and what I'm saying is I think maybe I've had it coming a little bit, is I sort of fake proposed to her. Yeah. So then soon after that, hers was, oh, really? You're going to fake propose? Well, I'm fake pregnant.
Oh, interesting,
yeah,
man.
that just came back to me. So maybe.
Why'd you fake propose?
Because for that split second that I made that decision, I thought it was going to be funny to crouch down and
failed joke. I know all about those. Yeah.
You ever had a joke that didn't hit?
Oh yeah, I've done. Yeah, for sure.
Are you, just along those lines, are you a fan of practical jokes in general? Not necessarily ones where they involve a possible pregnancy, but things maybe a little less controversial that involve life.
Not really. I've tried to do that. I remember I worked at a grocery store and the baker had closed she had opened up her racks. She opened up a rack to me.
That's dirty.
Yeah, very funny stuff. And I just closed them real quick, and I hid behind something, and then I kind of looked at her face, and I watched her flick off the black guy from behind her back. I was like, ooh. So I don't like practical. I don't like seeing what people do when they don't know anyone's around.
Yeah, let's make sure all races are getting along, Mike.
Yeah, or whatever. I'm sure it's interpersonal more, but it was.
Yeah, right.
It was. Yeah, I like the show Impractical Jokers. It's a very entertaining show, but I've never been a practical joker. I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
I witnessed my neighbors doing one to their 5 and 7-year-old daughters the other day. They were telling me that their printer had been sort of malfunctioning.
Okay.
Turning on and off on its own. So the mom that lives next door, she decided to start sending it messages as if it was possessed, written to the daughters
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And instead of being freaked out, they actually loved it. So.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Interesting, man. I was going to say, that kid's like quarantine has gone too far.
You're right.
People are doing weird stuff like that to 5-year-olds.
Traumatizing.
Right.
I'm watching you while you sleep.
So
Good night.
she thought she had a friend on the other side?
I think that was what. Well, no, they thought. I guess eventually, and this is actually interesting that a 5 and 7-year-old, the connection, the leap they made, we were hacked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, our printer was hacked. It's not a ghost. It's not possessed. Someone hacked it, and they're just teasing us.
Well, that's true because people use the word hacked to to describe. I clicked on a link and it gave me a virus and I was hacked. Whereas real hacking requires you to be actively manipulate programming in real time.
Yeah.
But people use that loosely to be like, someone's fucking with my shit.
That's very true. That's very true. Did I got one more? I want to go back to your weird pregnancy scare here thing.
Yeah.
Did you start doing some math? Like, wait, when was I in?
Oh God.
I mean, that must have been the first thing you did.
Well, there's so much information, and I've distanced from it, but yeah, so much information. You can't remember it all, so you remember the parts that make it seem like it's true, and you freak out, and then all of a sudden, like a wave, you remember the parts that are like, well, this probably just doesn't add up.
Sure.
So yeah, you do the math. You like recreate like JFK style, recreate the dismount and the angles and potential splashing.
We might have missed something. Yikes, man.
Well, yeah.
Are you sending her? We should talk about your shows this week here. Are you going to be sending her a Zoom link since she's in Texas and can't make it here live?
No.
Is there any chance you'd be like sending a Zoom link?
No, I will not be sending a Zoom link.
Okay. Well,
no.
There is. We should say that you're doing the shows here through Friday. So today's Wednesday. Yeah. So it's tonight at 8 o'clock every night. 8 and 10:30, I believe, on Friday. 2 shows Friday.
That's right. 8 and 10:30.
Who are you working with?
Ahmed Khalaf is the MC, a good friend of mine. James Moore, very good comic.
Nice. Are you? So people can come. I showed it on my Instagram stories last week. The chairs are spaced out here, just for people who aren't caught up yet. You have to wear a mask when you come in here. The staff is wearing masks that come and serve you. All the seats are 6 feet apart, if not more. 75 people's the max. Or you can have dinner before the show here, and then you can also just stay home and watch on Zoom if you want.
Yeah.
Have you watched any comedy on Zoom? I know you said you didn't perform. Have you watched any?
I've watched a little bit of Zoom comedy. I'd seen the things, and I clicked on a link, and it was, the people who are running the Zoom meeting, and then side by side, you have the person trying to tell jokes, so you just see a guy's face all smiling, and then someone's just in their apartment falling apart, just trying to read off their premises. And honestly, it was kind of a breath of humanity. It's kind of nice to see. Yeah.
I'm just thinking, wouldn't that sort of be like if you were performing here on the stage like normal, and maybe they had a spotlight on somebody in the crowd, right?
Yeah, I suppose, but it's almost as you're face to face with someone telling these jokes.
The first 2 people, like here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see exactly your reaction, put you on the spot.
Right.
Yeah, that could get a little awkward. Like, I heard you. I laughed.
Yeah, but ultimately, when you do those, I assume you're taking a risk with all your deliveries. You don't know what people are gonna do, so I'm sure it's good.
Yeah. So Erica Rhodes was here last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I caught her. She was very good.
Yeah, she's great. And her first night, I watched the Zoom set from home, and she did 80 minutes.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
dude. Wow.
I don't know if they told you that's the expectation though.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough.
She missed the light. I suppose maybe you assumed that she missed the lights. Why she did 80 minutes?
She missed. It's almost twice as much as headlining said. You miss the light and you go on for 40 minutes? Is there any? That's a lack of awareness.
One of the things that she and I talked about on last week's podcast was the concept of time and how she has very little.
Oh,
concept.
Okay, so it's something substantiated.
Uh-huh.
It's impressive to do 80 minutes, especially under there's a level of duress that happens when you're sure, like, am I supposed to get off now? And then you keep going. That's
She admitted she felt that. Yeah, there was duress.
No doubt.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I don't doubt it.
Uh-huh.
It's just that's a long time to go.
Yeah. What? Have you ever been forced to do, like longer than you wanted, in a situation like that?
Yeah, but nothing I couldn't handle. But I've always begrudgingly done that. I was up in Duluth, and the headliner wasn't very good, and the guy asked me, hey, you do more?
Like after the first show or something?
You do more? Yeah, after the first show. It was funny. It was so weird because they had bad results on the first show, and the second show it was okay. But I remember afterwards, one of the staff there were handing out free tickets and apologizing to audience members who actually enjoyed it. I remember like, here's free tickets, and they're like, no, we liked it. But they wanted me to do extra time, and
What?
I did it. But I didn't get paid more.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the next time they make up for it. Or
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
there's already been a next time.
No, I'm not gonna.
Or maybe the goal is to not have to go back to that gig.
That's
Maybe
fine.
that too.
Yeah.
Wait. So they were looking at that as like a refund?
What's that?
They were doing a refund?
Yeah, they were handing out refunds to people who never asked for them.
What the fuck? Let's not set that precedent, right?
Yeah,
Manager Joe is laughing in the background, right?
people pleasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So let's see. The other thing I want to mention while you were here is that let's give you some little credit for being. When you were, we talked about last time you were here, you went on the road with Louis C.K.
That's
You
right,
performed
yeah,
here
yeah.
With him, you went on the road with him,
Mm-hmm.
and your name is in the credits for his special, correct?
Yeah. I made it to the ending credits. It's very cool.
That's got to be cool.
It was. I was very excited that day.
Did you know that was coming, or hoping?
I wasn't even. No, it didn't even occur to me. But I got sent a screenshot before I even knew his special released, and I
Oh,
was
okay.
like, that was a great moment. It
Awesome.
was so great.
Yeah, very cool.
That was the moment I found out I could not be having a child. It was the same day, and then I had my credits, so it was a good day, the best day I had in a while.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Along those lines, what are you when they read your credits bio thing, like, hey, the headliner tonight?
Yeah.
Who hands that? Do you write something out for Joe or
Yeah,
whoever's
you have to
reading?
fill out your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you putting on that these days?
Well, I've headlined once, and I think it was your headliner tonight. You probably know him personally. And it's Mike Earley.
Oh, fuck, that's funny, man. Well, if you're looking for a suggestion, I'd just say go with that again, because that's really good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I will.
Oh, that's super funny. Hey, I also want to give you credit. I enjoy following you on Twitter.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I keep firing stuff out into the void there. and
Uh-huh.
I don't get much response. In fact, yeah, I don't get much response.
Do you ever go back? I was the first time I ever found out somebody went back. This is a few years ago. Somebody said, "Oh, if I don't get a positive reaction, I delete the tweet."
I have that every tweet, with very few exceptions, every tweet I send, I regret immediately. There's no power in it. I lose power sending out tweets, personal power. But I keep doing it because I have some sort of pride attached to it. Where it's like, no one's going to stop me from saying this. And then I'm kind of like waiting for something to happen, and nothing ever does. And
I screenshot a couple here. I want to bring.
oh, you did?
Yeah. Oh yeah. These are my icebreakers for people when I meet new people.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I need to give you credit for this because it was one from, I think 4 days ago. Here's from Mike Earley at MICEARLEY. Mike Earley. Twitter has turned into finding thousands of different ways to tell people to wear a mask. And when that was your tweet. And when that came through my feed, the 2 above it and the 3 below it were all about masks.
Oh, dude, it's
So you're not. I mean, you nailed it.
Yeah,
You absolutely nailed it.
See, it's a seasonal platform, and one day it's masks, the other it's riots, and it's especially now it's accelerated.
The seasons are changing from AM to PM. I mean,
No, exactly. It's very rapid. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess people see the mask thing, and then I don't know. I don't know how to think about the mask thing because it's somewhat of a sanctimonious topic because people say their grandmas are going to die if you don't wear one. So I don't know. I mean,
I had to make a run to Target already today. And I do wear, I'm not making a political statement. No, I do wear a mask. I am somebody who does wear a mask when I go into Target. And then like we're 50% maybe aren't. I'm like, you clearly aren't following the people I'm following on Twitter who are fucking. Yeah, no, like, that's all they do. Is
maybe it's not the act of wearing a mask. I think that's a different subject. But writing the mask tweet is what makes me curious because I don't think a lot of those people are talking to anyone who's not in agreement.
Yeah.
So you wonder where that emanates from. It's like, what inspired you to, slander, to vigorously attack a phantom on your Twitter feed today with your mask tweet?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's certain things that I just don't get.
Mm-hmm. When you said you're like, I put out a tweet and sometimes I regret it right away.
Oh yeah.
Are there ones? Do you ever have that like, I like this, but this could not go well.
Oh yeah.
The reaction, I better hold back. This one may not go well.
Yeah, everyone has a piece of them who does that, and you have a decision. You can do it, and sometimes there's some liberation in that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you lose friendships that you knew were never true to begin with. But the idea I thought it used to be for social media is you say all this inner stuff, and then people are like, I think that too, and it becomes this kind of weird, kind of funny little thing. And now you say, now it's, I don't think it's become that. Now it's a form of control in a lot of ways. People want to control what you express, and then ultimately what you think about certain things.
Yeah.
Just because the act of speaking out loud is a social act. So if you think the social web is gonna tear you to shreds, it's like, why even do it?
Right. No, I completely agree. It's such a strange thing. I've stopped using Facebook. Basically, I don't know, since COVID hit, I gotta stay away from people on Facebook. It's too much. And I've noticed that some of them have wandered over to Twitter. That's why I'm on Parler. No, I'm kidding. Just found out about that. It was like a lot of people recently. But I am curious. I want to ask, how are you using, besides Twitter and throwing out your jokes all the time? Are you on the other ones?
Yeah, Facebook I like.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest following is on my personal Facebook account.
I know, mine too, and I don't.
Well, we're in Minnesota, where people, you don't, you have a few fans, but a lot of them you get to know on some level. And then you're Facebook friends with them. So yeah, I feel like abandoning Facebook for me would be abandoning everyone I went to high school with and all the connections you made over the years. And there's certainly a sect of people you could do without.
How about family? Are you friends with family on Facebook?
Yeah. So but those people are more forgiving than anyone, strangers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Facebook a lot.
Okay.
I still do.
Yeah, right on. I'm here today to tell you need to get off there.
Yeah, we'll go on.
No, I'm kidding. I'll go back. I'll be back on Facebook.
You don't have to, but it sounds like you want to.
My wife is still on, so I get when there's something I absolutely need to see, I see it.
Okay, gotcha.
I have if it wasn't for Facebook, I wouldn't know that I have a cousin that wears MAGA shirts every day.
Every day?
No, not every day.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I didn't know she had any of them.
Yeah, I feel like if you wear one MAGA thing, you do it it's like an everyday, That person wore the hat every day. It's a big deal to wear anything MAGA.
Kind of a uniform and a statement. I don't know. Is there anything else we should be mentioning here before I cut you loose? We got the shows here this week. You are the headliner.
Mm-hmm.
Your social media that we just talked about.
Yeah, you can do that.
People follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, just mainly come out to the show. You've been inside, and it's nice here. Things are spaced out.
Got the right temperature. It's
yeah. I got a wall unit in my apartment. It's from the 90s. It's not good. It's hot.
Yikes. Do you have to pay electricity?
I guess I do, but it's never more than $50. I literally have it running all day because I have I bought bulk truffle chocolates, and I got to make sure they don't melt. I'm spending more money maintaining these truffles that I'm no longer eating because I'm so tired of them because I don't want them to blob up.
You don't. What about the refrigerator?
That's a great point. I'm going to move those. I honestly never thought of that. I'm going to move those and turn off my AC.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, this has been great, man.
Thank you for doing this, and people need to come see the shows. Also, sign up for that Insider thing. I got the email the other day from being on the Acme Insider list, and there's going to be a couple nights next week where you can get a hell of a good deal on a show and a dinner. If you want more details on that, go to Acme's website and sign up for that. Subscribe to the show, share it with your friends, and most importantly, support local comedy here at Acme. Boom!
Yeah, sweet. Thanks.
Thank you.